This video is about what happens to your brain after quitting porn and why day 21 can be the toughest day. So stay with me until the end because I'm gonna give you the exact blueprint that I use not only to free myself, but to help 300 men go from watching pornography every single day to actually being free, okay? And I'm gonna let you in on a little something. You're not gonna feel happy at first. It's weird, right? Because you think quitting should feel good, but it doesn't, at least not right away. But I don't want that to discourage you. So by the end of the video, I'm gonna show you the 3 waves that your brain goes through while creating porn, and I'll give you the urge fighting protocol that turns this into a willpower and a discipline fight into an actual system that you can use every single time the urges hit so that you can actually be free once and for all. However, unless you understand these 3 waves, you're gonna think that you're broken, you're gonna think something's wrong with you, and then you're gonna go back to pornography. I've seen it way too many times to count, and I don't want that to be you. So again, I'm gonna show you the 3 waves of what your brain actually goes through, and at the end, I'm gonna give you the step-by-step system that I use to help 300 men quit, so you can copy and paste this into your own life. This is not theory. The reason I know this is because when I was quitting porn, I tracked every single day. I tracked everything. And ever since then, all of my clients, I track all of their data, and I know exactly how they're feeling every single day. So I know what actually happens. So if you've ever tried to quit yourself and you hit day 8, day 15, or day 23, and you felt a little snappy, or you felt foggy, or you got mad easily, it's normal. I've been in the same spot, and so have thousands of other men. But the truth is, you're not broken. The truth is, it's hard. Your brain just needs to learn how to recover. So the first wave that your brain goes through when you actually try to quit is the dopamine dip. So this happens between day 4 through like day 10, and you might get some random like spikes of this on like day 15 even. Let me know if this sounds familiar. You feel good for 4 or 5 days. You think to yourself, I got this. Willpower is enough. My discipline is finally able to help me with this. And then irritation, stress, overwhelm, it starts to settle in. And your old pattern was feel a tough emotion and have it feel better with pornography. But when you remove that spike, when you remove that stimulation that adult content gave you, your brain is having trouble feeling good on its own in the beginning. Okay, it's literally like taking candy from a baby. The baby cries, your body is throwing a tantrum. When you take away the sweets, it just wants it. All right, it's kind of like if you ever try to stop drinking caffeine. At first, you might get chills, or you might even get headaches because your body is just trying to adjust to not having your daily coffee. So if you ever try to quit and you're feeling defeated after like day 4, and your brain is just kind of yelling at you, saying just one time, just one peak, that's not you talking. That's just the dopamine dip. But the truth is, unless you actually let your brain stabilize, you're gonna keep chasing these micro hits of soft porn. So what this means is those sexy Instagram pictures, those TikTok videos of girls in short shorts, or the YouTube videos of beach volleyball. I heard it all. You're gonna try to go to anything to fill the gap. So the key is let your brain stabilize, because once you pass this wave, something cool starts to happen. Because wave 2 is the mental comeback. So this usually happens around day 16. Around day 16, you might start to feel a little bit different. You might start to think a little bit clearer. Me personally, I was able to sit down for 90 minutes, an hour and a half, and accomplish deep, focused work. But before, the old me, the one that used to binge watch porn for like an hour or 2 hours a day, I couldn't go 15 minutes without checking bikini pictures or getting up to do another task or just getting distracted. I literally could not focus. So why is this happening? Because now your baseline of dopamine is starting to normalize. So you can focus, you can go about your day, you can enjoy regular tasks without these giant spikes of stimulation. And this is exactly where you want to be. Your brain is learning to focus on normal levels of dopamine and not be chasing these massive spikes. So that being said, unless you use this wave to build new routines, the next wave can still knock you down. Which brings us to the actual shift. This is wave 3, and this is where your identity starts to shift. So this usually happens week 3, week 4, and beyond. Here's where the habits, they start to be on autopilot. Okay, you're still gonna get urges. They're always gonna come up. You know, late at night, when you're stressed, when you're alone on your phone. But at this point, you should have enough repetitions of successfully beating the urge to where it becomes more automatic and way easier for you. It's like the first time working out, it's tough. You know, you're just like, how am I gonna do this? But by your 10th time at the gym, you're already used to it. Because at this point, you're gonna realize the truth, which is most urges come and crash in 15 minutes or less. So picture this, it's 11:23 p.m., you're alone, you're scrolling, you see something that triggers you on social media, but now, instead of binging their post or instead of watching adult content, you do the protocol that we're gonna cover in just 1 second, and in 10 minutes, the storm is gone, the urge is gone, and you can return back to your normal life without feeling like you gave up on yourself. And that's gonna be the first time you feel free, because now you understand the system. Now you actually understand the habits that you need to do to free yourself from pornography. But the sad part is, unless you swap the old habits with new ones, unless you replace what you do instead of watching, your brain is gonna go back to the easy button and you're gonna continue to go back. So we need to find another way to fill the time, and we need to find another way to feel the emotion. All right, so let me just give you a quick recap just to make sure that we're on the same page. Wave 1 is you're gonna feel worse, okay? That's just the dopamine dip. It's just something you have to go through. Wave 2 is when your focus starts to return. This is the comeback. And wave 3 is where your identity and the actual habits that free you from this, they start to actually lock in. So now I wanna give you the urge fighting protocol that you can use today. Step 1 is fix your fucking sleep. Okay, so you might not think that sleep has anything to do with you being free, but hear me out, okay? On the days that you're rested, on the days that you have a lot of sleep and you slept well, you'll notice urges drop. You're able to think clearly. You're able to make decisions a lot better. But when you're tired, you're groggy, your brain's a little bit foggy, you can't think straight. Your brain is just gonna be begging for these quick dopamine spikes. It's like when you're tired and trying to resist the P word, it's like trying to say no to cookies when you haven't eaten all day. It's not gonna happen, okay? So realistically, I know life gets busy, but aim for 6 to 9 hours per day. And if you don't get at least 6 hours per day, this whole plan feels 10 times harder, okay? So can you see how just getting the right amount of sleep can make the rest easier? Because it gives you more mental clarity and it gives you more mental fortitude, mental strength. So step 2 is just lower your overall amount of stress. And now I get it. Life is stressful, work is stressful, family can be stressful, but there are some things that you can do to help. Because if you're in a constant state of stress or anger or overwhelm, then the slightest little thing can set you off. Okay, it's like a boiling pot. Like when you have so much, and then just that tiny crack, and then boom, it all just explodes, right? But when you have a more relaxed lifestyle, you're able to conquer these urges a lot easier. You have a lot more mental bandwidth, which you can use for mental strength. So here are some simple tips that I give to my clients that literally anybody can do if they're serious about quitting. And it doesn't even take that much effort or a lot of money. So you can take 2 10-minute walks throughout the day. And this is proven to keep your nervous system calm. And bonus points if when you walk, it's nature-filled. It's proven to reduce stress going on just 10-minute walks. It's kind of like just turning down the volume in your brain so that way you can hear your true feelings and not just these urge demons that come up. And step 3 is track where you get the urges. For 1 week, just for 7 days, write exactly when and where the urges hit. What time did they hit? What app are you on? What emotion are you feeling? This could be as simple as putting it in your notes on the phone saying 11:15 p.m., Instagram Reels, I was in my room and I was feeling lonely. You need to see the patterns, because unless you see the patterns, you're gonna think these urges are random and then you're gonna blame yourself, which is not true. So the most important thing is track what your urges are and how you're feeling when you get the urges. So that way you can be in control and you can see the patterns. Step 4 is pre-select the replacement. So you can't delete a habit, but you can replace it. This is why smokers go down to vapes, go down to nicotine patches, nicotine gum, regular gum, and then it just goes down from there. So I'm gonna give you a list. Pick 2 things from this list that you can commit to and do them when the urge hits. My personal favorite is box breaths. So inhale, hold, exhale, hold, and do that 3 different times. All right? Go on a 10-minute walk. I can't say this enough. It's super simple. Go hop in the shower for 60 to 90 seconds if you're at home. And this is my personal favorite. This is one of my favorite things to do. Have a little mini to-do list. And for 10 minutes, go to the dishes. Go clean the kitchen. Go clean your room. Go clean your desk. Distract yourself. Don't stay in the same area that you're having the urge. You're just gonna set yourself up for failure. And if you're a little bit more active, do 20 push-ups. Do a wall sit for 5 minutes. Hold your hands up in the air like this. And I promise you, it's very hard to think about pornography if you're activating your body so much. And I know these methods might seem out of the ordinary, but seriously, if you want to change, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes, or you're just not that serious about it, which is okay. But if you're serious about quitting, then these physical redirects are the most powerful thing that you can do to help yourself out. It's kind of like if you're watching a scary movie on TV, and then you switch the channel, and now everything feels better again. Okay, new channel, new state, new area, new state, new activity, new state. And that's how you beat the urges. And step 5 is run the 15-minute wave. So when the urges hit, you start the timer for 15 minutes and you run 2 of those replacements that I showed you. When you're in the moment, it can be scary. You need to remember you're not beating the addiction, you're just beating 15 minutes. Can you stay strong for 15 minutes? I think you can. And I think you've done a lot harder things in life. So you're gonna feel the peak at minute 6, at minute 9. By minute 12, it's starting to go down a little bit. And at minute 15, you're good. You're not even thinking about it anymore. But the thing is, you have to make sure to start the timer, because without the timer, your brain will start to negotiate with you. And the last step, this is just kind of cherry on top, remove the easy buttons. Put night mode on your phone. Take the phone out of the bedroom. You don't need it. And if you need an alarm clock, buy one. Don't give yourself the easy way out. Like, if you're quitting sugar, don't keep cookies on the counter, right? Make the easy choice easy. Delete the apps that you're using to watch pornography. Unfollow the girls on Instagram. If you want freedom, make the right choice easy. And after all this, you still might be thinking to yourself, why should I listen to you? Well, let me explain something really quick. When I was, for 10 years, addicted to this, I used to believe that these urges lasted forever. And I used to believe that I would never be able to stop. But after I went to an event in Austin and they covered some behavior change, I went home. Next time I had the urge, I measured it. I timed it. And it peaked and it fell in 15 minutes. I earned this protocol by failing a lot and trying a lot of different things to quit. And on day 21, when I was tracking my progress, it was the worst day of my life. I was alone, I was stressed, I was ready to break and I was ready to give in. And I thought I was, but I ran the protocol. I asked myself out loud, what kind of man do I want to be? And I did my box breaths and went on a walk. And at minute 14, I was like a whole nother man. My brain was clear. So the urges, they don't last forever. They're just waves. And you could be a surfer now. Like, imagine the next time you have a hard night. Imagine the next time you think you're gonna relapse. And then you look at the timer and you know this ends. Can you see that? And this is all great. But if you skip this, you're gonna keep on living on those dopamine spikes and your goals are always gonna lose to your phone. But if you actually run the plan, in a few weeks, you'll feel clearer, calmer, you'll feel in control. Like, can you see how this helps? Imagine what changes to your focus, to your work, to your relationships, to your life when porn is no longer a problem. But I get it, there might still be some questions in your mind. Like, what happens if I relapse? Well, it might happen, but we're gonna learn from it. We learn from it, we log the trigger, we know exactly why we failed, and then we get back on track. One step back, two steps forward. All right, it's not failure, it's just a learning curve. And what if the urges hit at work? You can't take a shower, you can't do the dishes. Well, the good thing is box breaths are very easy to do in public. So hit the box breaths, maybe do a 5-minute walk, but definitely start the 15-minute timer. You need to understand where you are at in the journey. And I know boredom is gonna come up. So what happens if you're bored? Well, the truth is, boredom is healing. It's your brain rebalancing. So one thing that I used to do is put a small to-do list next to my timer. I had a small to-do list in the back of my phone. So whenever I got the urge or whenever I got bored, I said, hey, you know what? I do have to clean the dishes. You know what? I do have to clean up my room. You know what? My dog's kennel is looking pretty dirty. I should go clean that out. So this is a copy and paste of what you can do to actually break free. Take 2 10-minute walks every single day. It's gonna lower your nerves, it's gonna lower your anxiety all around. And then you need to track your triggers for just 7 days. Understand where these triggers are happening, what you're feeling, where you're at, what apps are you on, and pick 2 replacements that you can do ahead of time. So you know exactly how you're gonna fight the urge before it comes up. And of course, start your timers. So all this is great, but if you want real help finding the root reason why you keep going back and have a personalized plan and have someone like me in your corner every single step of the way to make sure that you break free, click the link below, grab a free one-on-one root session call with me. We're gonna map out your triggers, we're gonna find replacements for you, and we're gonna map out your next 30 days. So that way you can prevent ever relapsing again. Because if you can make the urges go away, how would your life be different than it is right now? You're not gonna be free until you have a system that sets you free. And now you have one. So again, if you want more personalized help and you wanna see how I've helped over 300 men quit the P word, click the link below and let's talk.